Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Vietnam Stock Market's Opportunities. It's an honor to be with you today. And if you want to open a legal trading account, please contact us with the email Vietnamstockmarket.entry at gmail.com. Telegram Vietnamstockmarket.entry with the phone number is 8491-432-6556. Or you can also scan the QR code on the screen so that we can support you. And the other way to contact with us is please follow and subscribe the channel name Areca Capital Channel. The owner of this YouTube channel is Areca. She's a personal financial advisor. You can contact her with the email hongzangyuan@vcsc.com.vn with the phone number is 8491-432-6556. And we always welcome you to our office on the 11th floor, 109 Trường Đại Street, Hoàn Kiếm District, Hà Nội, Vietnam. And today we're going to share with you about REE. REE is a holding company with three main business lines: power 1,000 megawatt and nearly half of its total earnings, mechanical and engineering installation, and office leasing. REE is a leading M&E player and possesses 150,000 square meters of office leasing space. Other segments include water and real estate. On the screen, this is the report which was collected by Viet Capital Securities about REE on the 27th February 2023, with the current price is 70,000 Vietnam dong. Target price 80,500 Vietnam dong. Last target price 85,900 Vietnam dong. Upside to target price more than 15%, dividend yield 1.4%, TSR more than 16.4%. Short-term headwinds, but growth to resume in 2024. We cut our target price for REE by 6% to 80,500 Vietnam dong per share and maintain our outperform rating. We maintain our optimistic view about REE's potential capacity expansion in Vietnam's promising renewable energy sector via rooftop solar and wind power over the long term, as the company has the strongest financial capability among our renewable stock coverage. Our lower target price is due to our 6% lower aggregate 2023 to 2026 forward net profit after tax MI forecast following our decreased earnings assumptions for the rooftop solar and M&E segments. We forecast 2023 forward net profit after tax MI of 2.3 trillion Vietnam dong, less than 15% year-over-year, mainly due to 42% year-over-year lower earnings from the hydropower segments that outweigh wind power earnings, more than doubling year-over-year to 352 billion Vietnam dong, with 100 megawatt of new wind power capacity and 26% year-over-year net profit after tax growth for M&E. We forecast a 17% EPS CAGR in 2023 to 2027 forward. That is driven by contributions from around 500 megawatt of wind power capacity, 500 megawatt peak of rooftop solar capacity, and the E-Town 6 building entering commercial operation in late 2023 forward. We believe REE's valuation is attractive at a 2023 forward PER of 10.9 times, which is a 20% discount compared to the average 4-year TMPE of our selected power peers. Upside catalysts: profits contribution from real estate project in Thái Bình, larger than expected contribution from Long Thành International Airport to long-term M&E segments. M&E earnings. Downside risks lower than expected approval per M&A for a new wind power plant in 2023. M&E segments faces short-term challenges. This segment's 2022 net profit after tax completed only 69% of our full-year forecast. As such, we lowered our 2023-2026 forward net profit after tax projection by around 16% as we believe high interest rates and an economic slowdown will weigh on the segment's margin and revenue. In addition, public investment projects, Tanzania Terminal 3 and Longtang International Airport are progressing slowly and only will make significant contributions starting in 2025. Near-term headwinds for rooftop solar capacity expansion. In 2022, REE developed 35 megawatt peak of rooftop solar capacity that generated net profits after tax of 47 million Vietnamdong, which was lower than our expectation. According to REE, rooftop solar will continue to face challenges in 2023 without a new pricing mechanism after the favorable feed-in tariffs expired at end 2020. Therefore, we'll lower our forecast for a new rooftop solar capacity from 100 megawatt to 35 megawatt in 2023, but maintain our assumption for a new capacity of 100 megawatt in 2024 to 2027 forward. New renewable energy pricing mechanism should be approved in 2023, which would boost wind power capacity. We maintain our forecast for an additional 100 megawatt of wind power in 2023 to 2026 forwards, mainly from M&A. We forecast 2023 net profits after tax to more than double year-over-year with new capacity and volume improvements of existing wind power plants from low wind speeds and output curtailment in 2022. Let's move to the next part, 2022 recap. Robust hydropower portfolio drove earnings. Revenue, due to solid contributions from the power segments, especially the hydropower portfolio. M&E, the segments recovered from 2021's low base that was due social distancing restrictions, but it still trailed our forecast due to the slower than expected construction progress of projects, office leasing, and real estate. Due to higher rents and REE cuts for office rents and service fees by 20% in Q3 2021 to support its tenants during COVID-19. The occupancy rate was strong at 98%. Power, mainly due to the outperformance of the hydropower portfolio, as it benefited from robust sales volume due to high rainfall and higher ASP from surging CGM prices. Net profits after tax amount due to the stellar year-over-year growth of all business segments, except real estate. M&E recover from low base in 2022. Office leasing and real estate. Real estate earnings plunged as the company recorded profits from the divestment of its real estate company 8D in Q4 2021. Power, mainly driven by 123% year-over-year growth for the hydropower segment thanks to full-year earnings contributions from the upper quantum hydropower and 44% increase in ASP. In addition to an earnings consolidation from the full-year operations of the Chabing 48 megawatt, Phú 2 26 megawatt, and Lợi Hải 2 30 megawatt wind power projects. Rooftop solar net profits after tax declined 32% year-over-year due to higher operation and maintenance expenses, as well as increasing depreciation and interest expenses. Water recovery after tariff cut in 2021. 2023 outlook, lower hydropower earnings to outweigh higher earnings from wind power and resilient M&E. Revenue. 1. Lower revenue from the power segment to outweigh higher revenue from the M&E and office leasing segments. M&E. 1. Mainly driven by 2022 forwards new contract value of 4.7 trillion Vietnam dong, which supports revenue recognition in 2023. 2. Due to slower than expected construction progress of M&E projects. Office leasing and real estate. 1. We assume office rents will increase 3% year-over-year. 2. Our forecast for this segment remains unchanged as the constructions of E-Town 6 is in line with our expectation. Power. 1. We expect 2023 forward wind capacity of 226 megawatt, more than 79% year-over-year, to drive wind power revenue of 1.3 trillion Vietnam dong, more than 92% year-over-year, which should partly offset lower hydropower revenue of 3.2 trillion Vietnam dong, less than 28% year-over-year. 2. We reduced new capacity assumption for the rooftop solar segment from 100 megawatt P to 35 megawatt P due to not having a pricing mechanism for renewable energy. Net profits after tax MI. 1. 2023 forwards net profits after tax MI to fall 15% year-over-year, mainly due to lower power segment earnings, especially from hydropower. M&E. We expect a continuing recovery from COVID-19. Our 2023 forwards net profits after tax forecast implies that this will be 70% of the pre-COVID level. Also, many projects were under construction, so their revenue will be recognized in 2023. Power. Hydropower 2023 forwards net profits after tax amount to plunge 42% year-over-year to 830 billion Vietnam dong, as we expect unfavorable weather conditions in 2023 compares to high rainfall in 2022. We maintain our forecast for Vixen Songhin Hydropower JSC BSH 2023 forward net profits after tax amount at 594 Vietnam dong, less than 53% year-over-year, due to lower sales volume of 1.8 million kilowatt-hour, which outweighs the higher power purchase agreement price of 1,437 Vietnam dong per kilowatt-hour, more than 48% year-over-year for the upper Quantum hydropower plants. We forecast Phản Lại Thermal Power JSC PPC 2023 forwards net profits after tax amount of 546 billion Vietnam dong, more than 46% year-over-year, which is driven by its S6 generator wintering operation in mid-2023 and potentially higher utilization rates for thermal power plants in 2023 due to a greater power shortage risks for northern Vietnam. We expect wind power 2023 forward net profits after tax amount to more than double year-over-year to 352 billion Vietnam dong, which is driven by 100 megawatt of new wind power capacity and higher volume from existing plants after abnormally low wind speeds and output curtailment in 2022. 2023 to 2027 forwards forecast summary. We forecast a net profits after tax amount CAGR of 15% in 2023 to 2027 forwards. That is mainly driven by solid contributions from the Chavin 48 megawatt, Phú Lạc 2 26 megawatt, and Lợi Hải 2 30 megawatt wind power projects that came online in October 2021. An additional 100 megawatt of wind power capacity coming online in 2023 to 2026 forwards, consolidating REE's total wind capacity to 500 megawatt by 2026 forwards. Our expectation for REE's solar energy to bring 35 to 100 megawatt of rooftop solar power capacity online in 2023 to 2027, with support from a transparent pricing mechanism for the renewable power sector, resulting in total rooftop solar capacity of 477 megawatt by 2027 forward. The earnings contribution from the Upper Kontum hydropower plant entering operation in 2021, the PPA negotiation of BSH and EVN is still in progress, but we believe it will have a contracted price of 1,308 Vietnam dong per kilowatt hour in 2023 forwards. A full year contribution of the E-Town 6 building in 2024 forwards to drive REE's office leasing earnings to 757 billion Vietnam dong, $31 million, around 31% higher compared to 2022 forwards. Other items, mainly including net interest income expenses at the whole core level, that are forecast to jump from an expense of 24 billion Vietnam dong, $1 million in 2022 to income of 249 billion Vietnam dong, $9 million in 2026 forward, thanks to robust cash dividends from REE's power portfolio. Power segments. Breakdown of REE's power capacity by type adjusted for ownership. As of December 2021, we estimate that REE had a total 996 megawatt of power production capacity adjusted for REE's ownership, ranging from hydropower, wind power, rooftop solar power, and coal-fired thermal power projects. REE plans to nearly double its capacity to 2,000 megawatt by 2027. Per our analysis, their REE has clear structural transition to green energy, which is demonstrated by a substantial capacity expansion in wind and solar power to reduce exposure to coal-fired power generation. Notably, the company divested the Guangling coal-fired power plant in 2021. We maintain our forecast for 400 megawatt of wind power to be added from 2023 to 2026 forward. We retain our forecast for an additional 100 megawatt of wind power projects to come online in 2023 to 2026 forward, with our estimate for feed-in tariff of 6.81 US cents per kilowatt hour, 20% lower than the previous FIT. In 2026 forwards, we predict this capacity expansion projects, which have a combined capacity of 400 megawatt, will add 358 billion Vietnam dong, $15 million per year, or 10% to REE's net profits after tax MI. Rooftop solar power capacity to begin recovery in 2024. Rooftop solar 2022 net profits after tax was 47 billion Vietnam dong, $2 million, less than 31% year-over-year, and trailed our forecast despite resilient 5% year-over-year revenue growth to 229 billion Vietnam dong, $9.6 million. We attribute the divergence between the top line and bottom line growth to one, higher depreciation expenses for developed projects, two, higher interest expenses, and three, fully expensed O&M cost compares to 2021's low base. Furthermore, rooftop solar capacity did not expand in Q4 2022, leading to the installed capacity of 30 megawatt, more than 84% year-over-year in 2022, which trailed our full year forecast due to there not being a new pricing mechanism for renewable energy projects. As a result, we cut our capacity forecast for 2023 forwards to 35 megawatt, but maintain our estimated capacity expansion of 100 megawatt in 2024 to 2026 forward. VSH earnings to normalize in 2023 forwards. VSH 2022 net profit after tax surged 226% year-over-year to 1.3 trillion Vietnam dong as its sales volume was 2.6 billion kilowatt hour, more than 97% year-over-year, and the seller average CGM price was 1,479 Vietnam dong per kilowatt hour, more than 42% year-over-year. We attribute the robust sales volume to the full year contribution of the Upper Kontum hydropower plant that came into operation in April 2021. In addition to favorable rainfall conditions in 2023, we expect this power plant to increase its PPA price to 1,308 Vietnam dong per kilowatt hour, which is based on REE's targets to negotiate for a base PPA price of 1,090 Vietnam dong per kilowatt hour and a price multiplier profile ratio of 1.2 times for the first 10 years of operation, with EVN to create sufficient profits in order to ensure debt service obligations. After this 10 years, a penalty multiplier less than 1 times will be applied to Upper Kontum's base PPA price to ensure that its project IRR will be the same as in a scenario with the base PPA price being applied for the full life cycle of the project. We maintain our earnings forecast for VSH in 2023 to 2026 forward in this update report. Office leasing segments, resilient occupancy rate of 98% to ensure stable cash flow. REE's occupancy rate was stable at 98% in 2022. In 2020, REE's occupancy rate dropped from 99.5% in Q1 2020 to 98.5% in Q2 2020 and 97.4% in H2 2020 as a result of COVID-19. In 2021 and 2022, the occupancy rate marginally improved to 98% due to the recovery of the economy. REE is in the final stages of completing construction of the new E-Town 6 office building. This new office building will have a net floor area of 40,000 square meter compared to REE's existing 150,000 square meter of total leasable office space. As of end Q4 2022, REE had completed 100% of construction for 4 basements, B1 to B4 of this building. REE targets to finish construction for the 5th basement and the first floor by February 2023 in order to put the building into operation by Q4 2023. This progress is in line with our forecast. M&E segment public investment projects to drive long-term earnings. REE is a leading player in airport M&E. In 2016 to 2017, the company posted record high earnings after supplying and installing the M&E system for the Tanzania International Airport's terminal upgrade project. Over the next 5 years, we believe that REE will have a competitive advantage to win M&E contracts for Tanzania in Terminal 3 and Longtang International Airport, both of which are materially larger than Tanzania's Terminal 2 upgrade. The construction of Tanzania's Terminal 3 project has been delayed due to challenges regarding the handover of land bank under the direction of the government. Airport Corporation of Vietnam, ACV, needs to be handed over 14.7 hectares of land to deploy the Tanzania Terminal 3 project. As of January 2023, ACV has only been received 8.4 hectares. The Prime Minister is requiring an acceleration of construction in order to put Terminal 3 into operation by September 2024. According to notification 204 TBCB dated July 1st, 2022, according to ICV, the land clearance progress for Longtang International Airport was 98% complete as November 2022, which was behind schedule due to legal procedures. The Prime Minister urges ICV and provincial agencies and Dong Nai province to work to resolve its entanglements, so the construction of phase 1 can be completed in 2025. In December 2022, ICV canceled the 35 million Vietnam dong, a $1.3 billion bidding package after 33 months of execution due to not having any constructors and the bidding documents not being qualified with Article 17 of the law on bidding. On February 2nd, 2023, ICV invited constructions to bid for the second time. ICV plans to open bidding on March 8th and award the contracts before April 30. PCSC forecast for REE's M&E net profits after tax MI. Valuation. Some of the parts target price depreciation. Derivation. We continue to value REE using a sum of the parts approach. Our target price is derived from power generation. We choose DCF approach to value REE's investee companies in the power generation segment, as we believe it is best suited to measure the cash generation capability of each power plant and renewable energy project. For smaller investments, such as Ninh Thermal Power and Chavin Electricity Transmission Company, we use REE's investment costs due to this company's significant scale and or lack of information disclosure. In addition, we use our PPC valuation as published in our PCC update reports dated November 28, 2022. Office leasing. For REE's existing portfolio of office buildings, 150,000 square meter, we apply a cap rate of 8.5% to our net operating income forecast. We value REE's E-Town 6 office building building using DCF methods. M&E and water treatment. We choose to value REE's M&E and water treatment segments using the PER approach. Our target PERs for the M&E and water treatment segments are derived from a 4-year average PER of our respective peer group samples. Real estate as REE has established REE Land and a holding subsidiary specialized in managing REE's real estate investments. We continue to use the investment cost of REE Land as our valuation for the segments, instead valuing each real estate assets separately. We maintain a 10% conglomerate valuation discount to REE total's equity value. We cut our target price by 6% due to our 6% lower aggregate 2022 to 2026 forward net profit after tax and my forecast, following our decreased earnings from the rooftop solar and M&E segments. VCSC sum of the parts valuation for REE. VCSC assumptions for WICC. Comparable peers. Due to its diversified investment portfolio, we recognize that there are no true comparable peers for REE. As such, we pick companies that are comparable to REE's investees, companies in each business segments that will provide good relative check to our SOTP valuation for the power and office leasing segments, and produce a target PER notable for our PER valuation for the M&E and water treatment segments. Our peer group has the following 4-year average PERs. 14.2 times for power generation peers due to the diversified contribution of both hydropower and thermal power. The company REE's power portfolio with regional power holding companies that manage or own stakes in multiple power plants. 14.3 times for office leasing peers. We choose regional players that have exposure to office and retail leasing. 10.6 times for M&E peers. We select Vietnamese companies in the air conditioning, control, and refrigeration engineering segments, which are similar to REE's core and M&E segments. 11.4 times for water treatment peers. We have selected regional peers, including listed water supply companies in Asia. REE's historical PER compares to peers. Historical median trailing EBITDA of power peers. Peer comparison. Recommendation history. Historical target price and recommendation. Appendix 1. REE's business restructuring plan. On September 30, 2020, REE's BOD approved plans to set up 3 holding companies that will directly own and manage REE's assets in each of the company's business segments. These holding companies include 1. REE Energy Limited in the power generation segments, Chapter Capital, 5 trillion Vietnam dong to 6 trillion Vietnam dong, $217 million to $273 million. 2. REE Water Limited in the clean water treatment and distribution segments, Chapter Capital, 1.6 trillion Vietnam dong, $70 million. And 3. REE Land Limited in the real estate segment, Chapter Capital, 912 billion Vietnam dong, $39 million US. Meanwhile, REE's M&E segment will continue to be managed by two subsidiaries. REE Take book value 150 billion Vietnam dong, 6 million US, and REE M&E book value 150 billion Vietnam dong, 6 million US. The office leasing segment will continue to be owned and managed the whole co level. We believe the new holding structure adds value for existing shareholders as it, one, allows each business segment to raise capital debt more efficiently and independently from the parent company. Two, simplifies the process of forming strategic or R&D partnerships at each business segment. And three, prepares for the possibility of spinning off and listing each holding company if necessary. REE Energy manages all of REE's power assets. We understand that REE Energy's portfolio is comprised of 100% green energy and does not include light thermal power, which is REE's largest legacy investment in coal-fired power generation. However, for easy restructuring, this investment is still under REE Energy. REE divested its stake in QTP, and we expect that it will also divest PPC over the long term. REE Solar Energy is an environmental, social, and governance-friendly company. This implies a potential spin-off if REE and its partner so desire. This company is completely investable for foreign institutions with strict ESG investing methods. REE's new holding structure, REE's subsidiaries and associates. Appendix 2, capacity expansion potential. Onshore wind power, REE acquired a controlling stake in Thuận Bình Wind Power in November 2019. REE then raised its ownership in TBW from 25% to 49% after purchasing 24% from EVN at a valuation of 300 billion Vietnam dong, $13 million via a public auction. Per REE, it holds more than 50% of voting rights at TBW and thus has consolidated the company into the group. We estimate that REE's effective ownership that TBW is 61% thanks to 50% direct ownership and 25% ownership from Tacma Power, JSC. As of year-end 2020, TBW plans to apply for licenses for 1,000 megawatt of wind power in Bình Thuận, Ninh Thuận, Gia Lai, and Đắk Lắk provinces. We note that further capacity expansion, such as the second phase of the Trà Vinh offshore wind farm's 48 megawatt and TBW's 400 megawatt of wind power pipeline projects in Đắk Lắk, Gia Lai, and Bình Thuận, is highly dependent on the attractiveness of Vietnam's next wind power FIT in our view. In March 2021, REE's chairwoman shared that the company was working with a foreign partner to seek licenses to develop a giant wind offshore power project with a capacity of 1,000 to 2,000 megawatt. Additionally, REE has talks with the Prime Minister to develop a giant project and believes that project can have a wind speed of 10 meters per second, compares to 6 to 7 meters per second for offshore and nearshore wind projects, and a turbine capacity of 16 megawatt, 4 times near compared to nearshore wind projects. Therefore, REE expects a tariff of 11 US cents per kilowatt hour compared to the LNG fire power tariffs of 9 to 10 US cents per kilowatt hour. At REE's AGM in March 2022, the company added a new BOD member who has expertise in renewable energy, Mark Andrew, who is member of Global Wind Power Council. The chairwoman expects that Mr. Hutchison can support REE in the offshore wind power segment due to its great deal of experience in the renewable energy industry. As cited in a list of potential Vietnam offshore projects from conference organizer, we believe the giant project the chairwoman mentioned is REE offshore in Trà Vinh province. Potential wind projects in Vietnam. Appendix 3. New pricing mechanism for transitional renewable power approved. On the 7th January 2023, the Ministry of Industry and Trade released Decision 27 QD-BCT announcing a new pricing mechanism for traditional solar and wind power plants, which is 17% to 29% lower compared to the previously favorable feed-in tariffs and broadly in line with our current assumptions that we apply for new projects of the stocks under our coverage. In addition, this new pricing mechanism is similar to the proposed prices that Vietnam Electricity made on the 20 November 2022, with prices for transitional renewable power plants that were 22% lower compared to the previous FIT. We note that renewable power plants must enter negotiation with EVN to obtain this new tariffs. We also expect pricing mechanism for completely new renewable power projects to be approved in 2023. Transitional renewable power plants include 4,000 megawatt of wind power capacity that finish construction but missed the October 2021 deadline for the favorable tariff, in addition to new wind power projects that have already secured investment approval and have under construction. Appendix 4, non-core investments. In Q4 2022, RE spent 538 billion Vietnam dong to acquire 38 million Vietnam International Commercial JSC shares at 17,500 Vietnam dong per share. Based on our estimates and assumptions, at VIV's shares price of 24,000 Vietnam dong, the potential investment gains is 117 billion Vietnam dong, 6% of REE's 2022 net profits after tax. Appendix 5, realistic expansion. In Q4 2022, REE acquired 2 hectares of land bank in central Taiping City. This land will be used for shop houses, villas, and appearance and commercial services. The company plans to launch sales for low-rise and high-rise products in 2023 to 2024. financial statements. Yeah, and that brings me to the end of my updates today about REE. So if you want to open a legal trading account, don't hesitate to contact with us with information on the screen so that we can assist you. Hope you guys have a nice day. Thank you for listening and see you next time. Bye.